Welcome to the Dad Report, a podcast for dads, by dads, about dad stuff.
Join us as we sit down and have meaningful conversations with friends, family, and coworkers.
We will talk about life, family, and so much more while working towards a goal of creating a healthy idea of what it means to be a dad. Chad, you're alive.
Yes, who's this?
I wanted to respond with so much sacrilege. Oh, I'm glad I did not do that.
Justin,
man.
it is good to see your face again.
It is so good to see you. It's so good to be back for however few weeks that we might be back with this thing that we do need to get back into a system here. Oh, man. Oh, how's Jacksonville? You guys have Hurricane Idalia barreling right at you.
We do, yes. As we speak, it is in the Gulf. It is approaching. I don't know.
What category is it right now?
Either the West Coast or the Panhandle somewhere. It keeps shifting. It is the winds are right at about 100 miles per hour, so it's just shy of 3, I think.
So for Jacksonville, what does that mean? Just a lot of rain? Will there be some?
Yeah, so for people that know their hurricanes, the quote unquote bad side of the hurricane is if you're looking at it, like top down on a map, like they show you, the right side is typically not great. But I think what I saw that my weather app gave me was that like winds are going to be like 25 miles an hour, 50 mile an hour gusts ish.
Okay.
Which is not bad. I mean, we've had winds sustained more than that. So it's, it shouldn't be that bad. I'm not sure about the rainfall, but yeah, like honestly, we're sitting here and we were surprised because they canceled school on Tuesday and Wednesday pretty early. And we were like, oh.
Is it already raining there?
No, I mean we haven't really had,
because today's Tuesday, so
yes, we haven't really had anything. I would say from the hurricane hit. So we had a little rain today. It's breezy outside, but that's about.
But it's standard. You guys live on the coast. It's starting to hit towards fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
makes sense.
And even just, I mean, people that come to Florida that experience like a Florida thunderstorm, they're like, y'all, that's no joke.
No, they're not.
But no, I mean, we had partly cloudy, partly sunny today. 90-ish is what it was.
All right.
Which, by the way, place I'm at right now, I'm loving this hot weather. A lot of people loathe it. They're inside. I like it. In fact, I get chilly inside, so sometimes I'll go outside for a few minutes.
Stretch it out. Okay.
Catch a little sun. Does that make me crazy? Quite possibly. But
or you just Floridian. You'll be chasing alligators next and have one as a pet. It's the next step in your evolution.
I'm not quite there, but who knows?
We'll see.
You don't know. We will see. So yeah, hurricane bearing down on us. We haven't had a very active season for storms. Okay. So, I mean, there's been a couple like out near like California, I think.
Yeah, there was a hurricane because my parents live out in California right now, helping my stepdad's mom, and they actually live in the middle of like the desert portion of California. Okay. And the hurricane's track actually was coming at them, and my mom warned us. She was like, hey, we may lose power, probably will lose power, because we don't see storms of that size get that far inland. or even come on that path. Like the way it was attacking California wasn't like up the coast, but it was like coming in. So
Oh wow. Okay.
they seem fine because I've been able to text every day and I've gotten responses and nothing. There's been no pictures or updates of anything otherwise. So maybe it fizzled out by the time it hit shore and got farther in. But yeah, there was one in California, which Pacific canes, I don't feel like I hear that much about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what that is, if it's just that they don't give us news freak out session about stuff out
Right.
there.
Right.
Um, but then, when there's a forest fire, I feel like we hear all about it. So
Yeah, when California's on fire, we definitely hear all about that
yeah, so I don't know.
for
I don't know how
sure.
that goes, but yeah. Yeah. So we're pretty used to it. The only time I will really pay attention is when it seems like we're gonna have a direct hit. But
Hmm.
somebody was mentioning to me at work yesterday that we've really had one hit in like recent history, and that
Okay.
was quite a while ago. And one of the things that saves us is the jet stream,
Okay.
right offshore. So, which kind of carries them. So it'll come south of us, or like we had, what was that? Was that Irma that kind of came up from the Keys and just went like straight up?
I feel like Irma was because that was a big deal here in Georgia too. Was Irma? So
Yeah, my in-laws, at the time they were living here, and they had a place in the Keys, and
okay.
that place got like demolished.
Oh,
And yeah, it went like straight up and came at us, I think kind of from the west. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. My
okay.
memory's a little fuzzy on that, but that was the last one I remember where we really got any damage from, and it was like we lost some fence. It wasn't like our roof got torn off or anything. So,
Right.
um, but yeah. So if it looks like we're gonna have a direct hit, I'll pay attention. But this, it's already start. They've already kind of changed. It's coming further north when it hits land than what we
Okay.
thought, and so it's gonna kind of arc, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
miss us, and we'll just get some wind and probably some rain. Is my
Okay.
guess. But so there you are, hurricane update.
Can update with Chad. We could make that a segment for the next like month.
Yeah, hopefully not. Maybe the next one we can say we were good and then never
It's
again.
all quiet till Christmas.
All quiet till Christmas.
Oh man.
So yeah, so that's the hurricane update. Um, so Justin, you and I have not been
Together.
recording podcasts here lately. So
Yes.
what do you say you
Yes.
give us an update about what the Killalay household has been up to the last
Oh man.
quarter?
Yeah, it's it's about how it feels, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I feel like the last one we recorded was right as summer was kind of launching or somewhere in there.
something like
And
that. Yeah.
so I feel like part of this slowed down. Well, part of it slowed down because every time you and I texted each other, we had something going on.
Yeah.
Whether it was like scouts or I had camp and then you had camp for 2 weeks in a row. Well, no, you had camp 1 week in a row, but something else not the week before, some camping trips. And um so for summer we kind of just, I mean, to Kevin Giannotti's off of Kicks and Minivans. No, he did not close down our podcast, but I think he definitely drew the season, kind of preemptively drew the season to a close there.
Yeah.
Um, was that him that called us out with that? I think so. But I think it was on his show. So you guys have to go listen to his episode with us. But
So
yes.
our last recording was April 24th.
Oh my stars.
So yeah,
It was
uh
April. I don't even
it's
remember
been
April all that well. So there you go. So the Kille household has been up to a few things. We've done some renovations around the house or continuing to work on some home improvement stuff. The biggest one we tackled was the bathroom, the guest bathroom. Fully gutted it down to the subflooring. Um, took out the old tub, took out the old vanity, took out the old toilet, and then it's got brand new vanity, brand new toilet, brand new lamp lighting.
mm,
Painted the walls. It's got a brand new shower and tub combo. Well, it's not quite a combo. It's that's a whole different conversation today. But I got to learn how to do some basic plumbing. I actually know how to weld copper now. Turns out it's not as hard as people might make it out to be. You too can weld copper. Um, but then also we learned that shark bites, which is this clever creation where it helps join pipes together. You pay more for it because you don't have to weld anything. But I mean, it's a genius product. So anyway, we put brand new toilet in. I mean, we've basically done it from top to bottom. It still has a few just final updates, like some trim pieces need to go around the shower walls to help kind of what we found is the old drywall also had like 6 layers of paint on it. And so as we put new drywall in, there's this like offset for those that are on camera. It's like a good 3/4 of an inch ish. So we're finding ways to kind of like, how can we mask this, dress up the shower and
Sure.
make sure, and then paint and, call it done, call it good.
Nice.
So, and then it needs baseboards, it needs crown molding, and then the vanity always comes with like a decorative trim piece. So it's not fully finished, but in the space of a week, we did go from having a useless bathroom to almost what looks like it's almost brand new. Like we took up the old flooring, which was this like kind of that sticker linoleum stuff, and put in like tile. I mean, it's and we're talking like the nice, like it's pretty schwanky, pretty schwanky.
Nice.
So that's been fun, otherwise not. I'm trying to think of other house projects. The cabinets may have gotten finished when we were offline, but I don't remember. Well, they're still not fully done. To Megan's credit, she does say this a lot. We always get about like 90% of the way done with a project, and then that last 10%, it's kind of like once an item is usable, we just kind of drop off.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I've been there. I think a lot of us have.
yeah. And toddlers, toddler life be making that what it is.
Yeah.
Over the course of our podcast hiatus, we got a dog who
Who
we're
made
also
an
trying to give
appearance
away.
just about a minute ago. I don't know if you
Yes,
saw, but
Comet.
yeah.
Yep, Comet has been on camera a few times. Now, for those of you dog lovers out there, and before you absolutely like mass murder me because we're trying to find him a new home, it's not that he's a bad dog. It's not that we hate him. He honestly is. He's very sweet. Still got some puppy energy. He's like a black lab, just a little bit of pit in him. He's not aggressive, but he doesn't play well with cats. Learned the other day, doesn't play well with their dogs very well either. That we can, as far as we've seen so far. And so he's just not conscious of how big he is. And so like he's knocked Amelia down the stairs. That was scary. He eats her food. I mean, constantly. Like just he won't listen to Megan very well on that one. So I mean, he's sweet. I mean, he's definitely a sweet boy. We just aren't the best fit for him. But with that being said, I also refuse to let him go back to the shelter. We'll hold on to him until a good family comes along that can meet that need. And we're not like abusing or neglecting him. Like he's being well fed. He's put on so much weight since we first got
Yeah,
him.
he's grown big time.
He definitely looks healthy. I mean, and he's even learning the house a little bit. I'll say, like, I do think he's kind of calmed down. I feel bad on one hand because I'm like, oh, he needs to be played with more. But by the time I get home and like it's the end of the day, like both Megan and I are like, yeah, the last thing we can do is give some energy and play with the dog. Like it kind of stinks. But no, we try. Like I will throw the tug of war toys and let him kind of chase things as I can. But it's definitely just, not the greatest of fits. But it's not like I'm, gonna put him back in the shelter. He doesn't deserve that. So but yeah, so that's Comet. The space theme name is because that's what we do with our pets. We have 2 cats. They're both also space themed. So Nova and Orion, who have I think made previous appearances on the show. And then kind of the nothing crazy has really changed with work. And then the probably the most wild of updates was in this last month. We found out that my father went to jail. He was arrested for attempted homicide. So that was a
Oh,
good time.
wow.
I've had nothing to do with his release or anything further in his trial. It's just that we finally were notified of his situation and we're like, all right. So been
Wow.
following that pretty closely.
So also you've done a little preaching this summer.
Oh, yeah, I got that opportunity. I think I got to preach the first 2 weeks of July. So I got to do my first, I guess, official series, or I called it a collection
Okay.
That wasn't part of like my pastor's planning or one of his series. Because I've gotten the opportunity to do that a few times before, where like I'll come in and preach the last week or preach one of the weeks when it fits. But yeah, this time I got to kind of do a two-piece thing, so
Nice.
it was fun. It was good times. But Chad, what have you been? What have you been up to? It's the
Oh
latest in the
man.
Kirk household.
So let's see. So this summer, uh, Pierce wrapped up his all his requirements for Eagle
Awesome.
to become an Eagle Scout. His project was a blur. It was crazy. It was awesome. Everything got done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we built, I say we, I kind of helped coordinate some stuff. I did some lugging around of boards. I really did none of the work, which is
As one
kind of,
does.
kind of the way it's intended to be, right? So it's him, the other boys he has, and he had kind of a few people designated who are much more qualified than myself
Yeah.
to manage all the power tools. And yeah, so he and his team built 10 ginormous picnic tables
Okay.
um, that are going to several parks around Jacksonville. Some have been placed. The remaining ones were just recently put to their warehouse facility downtown, kind of downtown, and just kind of waiting until they can be moved out there. So that happened. He turned 18. All of his paperwork got off in time. We're kind of waiting on the last little bit to get approved. So it gets approved for locally, it goes to the national office, they have to do some stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
even though he's 18, he's kind of just waiting on some of that stuff to finish so we can finally just kind of celebrate him and put a
Yeah.
pin in that. Um, let's see. So he turned 18. So for the fourth, we went up to the mountains. He and I, if you're familiar with kind of northwestern North Carolina, we were he and I hiked and camped overnight in Grandfather Mountain as part
Okay.
of just kind of his 18th birthday. We kind of had a couple things we were looking at, and that's the one he was excited about. So we did that. It was awesome. It was great. Let me tell you, if anyone um wants to do something like that, that place I've heard after I was there, thankfully, is some of the most difficult hiking like in probably North South Carolina, Virginia, like that area. It's right
Yeah.
along the Blue Ridge Parkway, at least the
Okay.
entrance, kind of the
Yeah.
back area we came into. And
I've driven
man,
the
it
Blue
was
Ridge.
tough. It was a struggle, and but it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We hiked in with some packs, you know hiked a good way, saw some great sights, set up camp, woke up the next morning, hiked out, met Shauna and Jude. They were there waiting for us. It was great. It was a great trip. I was kind of afraid that I was going to do this and never want to do it again. But actually, I can't wait. I would love to do it again.
Okay.
Um, so that happened. Then yeah, you mentioned it. We went to camp, Crossroads, Clayton King Ministries, Anderson, South Carolina,
Am I
Anderson
allowed to
University.
ask, and we can come back to it after I hear the rest of your family
Sure.
updates.
Yeah.
But there's a fellow student ministry in the area that I'm connected with, and that's an even longer story. But they also went to Crossroads, and he had some comments, thoughts, and feelings, and I would love to hear your review. But
Oh,
we will put a
okay.
pin in that and come back to it, and you keep resuming on your Kirk family updates.
Yeah. So camp was great. Anybody who's been to camp, particularly church camp, I mean, it was awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of great, lots of great stuff going on. Kids get probably, I'd say, arguably more freedom than they're probably used to, right? And so they get to
Okay.
roam around, see, kind of walk here, there. their shuttles kind of taking them to the places that are, kind of far to walk and stuff. And so they get to roam around, they go to the little coffee shop and buy things, with tons of sugar that their parents probably would not otherwise let them get, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Jude was there. It was great. It was just like a mountaintop experience for everybody. It was awesome. Took me a couple days to get used to the staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, whole shebang. But once I feel like
Oh
by
yeah.
the end of day two, beginning of day three, I was kind of in the zone and just kind of ready to go. So
Till
that
you get
was
home. Yeah.
um yeah. Well, and then on the trip home, we all got the gift of COVID, so that was awesome. Um
Oh. I remember that because I think we were gonna try and record after that, and
yes.
then you were like, "Yeah, no, we got the vid. I can't talk." Like, it was bad. It was
This
bad.
is this is true. This is true. And then not related. I mean, I guess COVID kind of contributed to it, but also like this summer unintentionally I lost like 30 pounds.
Nice.
So
Well, you've been
um
laying off. You've been on that alcohol-free diet, haven't you been?
well, so people ask like how did you do it? I'm like, so here's the thing. I got sick and basically, I was having some issues with my stomach and couldn't eat a whole lot. It's like, yeah, so for about a month, like wake up, you know, do what you need to do. Don't eat much at all. So meals. So I'd wake up, I'd have like maybe like a little piece of flatbread or something.
Mm-hmm.
Lunch would be like a handful of pistachios, maybe some just kind of bland chips with some hummus or something, something pretty bland. Dinner would be about the same. And I'd go to bed. I would go to bed late, go to bed early, wake up late just because feeling super fatigued, just kind of another byproduct of a lot of this stuff. And so yeah, so lost some weight, but in this process, I really kind of determined that I wanted to treat myself better.
Mm-hmm.
It just all stems from some digestive issues that, will kind of go away and come back, and I haven't really gotten a good handle on. So, but this time around, Shauna and I were talking, and she kind of helped me research some things, and I'm just, um, definitely I'm ready to, just kind of make some long-term changes. So I really kind of very slowly reintroduced any alcohol or even coffee. So
Okay.
um for about a month and a half, I didn't have any of either. And I've just
Yeah,
started kind
no,
of like
no
I'll have,
coffee for a month and a half is
yeah.
that's
Well,
tough.
so here's the thing. Like I thought I was like, I'm gonna find out that I really needed a beer or I really needed my coffee or something.
Right.
And you know what? Like I found with both of those things, I enjoy it. Um, I enjoy it much more socially
Yes.
than really anything else. And
Yeah.
people will come home after a tough day at work or tough, whatever, and I need a beer. Or wake up
Right.
right after not, I gotta have a coffee. And I just found that after a while, like I realized I really don't. Um, and it took some time. It was tough at first. I will say first couple days, I kind of have that caffeine headache, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of got over that. And so now I'm at the point where, on the weekend, I may have a beer. Um, I may have a cup of coffee, not a big one, like just a
Yeah.
small to small cup of coffee,
Okay.
a couple times a week. And um, I'm good with that right now. I'm trying not to go crazy because what will happen is I start feeling better and it's like, sweet, second cup, third cup,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so but I also notice that I'm able to enjoy it much more. When I have it, I'm
Sure.
like, let's get the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And it wasn't like when people ask me how I did it, I'm like, you don't want to do this? Like this is not fun, not easy.
Right.
Um, you know, but kind of on the flip side of that, I've got, a lot more energy and I'm trying to stay much more active. I'm realizing how awful it is to sit down at a desk for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And I'm
Mm.
so I'm trying to, and working from home is great because we can, during lunch, we can go on a walk and get out in the
Yeah.
sun and,
Yeah. Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So So anyway, that is, I think. Oh, and I mentioned Pierce turned 18.
Yes.
In the last week, Pierce started at UNF.
Good. The
Go
Jacksonville campus.
Ospreys. Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Because mainline UNF is in
no, so
Gainesville.
you're thinking University of Florida. This is the University of North Florida.
Right. But they've got another campus, don't they?
They may, but
Oh,
most everything is here
okay.
in town.
Cool.
If they have a campus somewhere else, I don't know. Like I think they have a couple little things downtown or whatever, but I don't know if they have anything in another city.
Gotcha.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe not.
I probably have
Um,
my colleges crossed.
yeah. So and it was, oh, let me tell you, between homeschool and Bright Futures, which is kind of like, are you aware of Bright Futures? So for the people that don't know Bright Futures, it's kind of a state funded program where if you meet all these requirements in high school, you can get a certain percentage of your tuition covered, right?
Nice.
So, yeah, so it's like a state government kind of funded thing. And so he got like 75%, whatever, which has been awesome. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
has really helped him. But a lot of hoops to jump through, especially with homeschool, us having to do like all that work. And it was a nightmare getting in. We got there. He's enjoying it now. But so within like the last week, he started at UNF, got a job, got a car. So
Whoa.
he's,
Wow. That's
and he's been
a
looking. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you're not shopping for a car these days, let me tell you, the new market is crazy. The
I've
used
heard
market is even crazier.
I've heard the used market is yeah.
So he had saved up some money. His idea was old Toyota Tacoma, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which
and
still goes for $30,000, but yeah,
yeah, yeah, we're
just
talking
saying.
really used, right?
They hold their
Um,
value.
and so he had priced it. He's like, okay, I can get something for like 4 or 5. It's gonna be older. It's not gonna be the prettiest, it's not gonna be like quad cab, 4-wheel drive, all this kind of stuff. And then like the used market went crazy, and he's like, I can no longer afford that. And
No,
he
the old
tried.
Tacomas are
That kid
15, I think,
wanted
starting out.
a truck so bad, and
I know.
he still does. But he wound up. We had a friend that was selling, and I don't even know what it's called, but the little kind of crossover. I don't even. It's an old one. It's the Lexus, but it's like
Okay.
old. Um, Decent amount of mileage actually, but it's kind of like that. That's what he's got. So little 4-door thing, great on gas, um, but kept really well. Owned by friends of ours.
Just something to start.
Something to
That's all you
start.
need, man.
I
That's
think he
yeah.
paid like 2,500 or 3 grand, something like that.
Hey. And if it's not
Um,
giving y'all mechanical issues, then you're set.
yeah. So he had it checked out. Um, went to the DMV, transferred the title, paid the taxes, all that kind of stuff. And by the way, he was flabbergasted when he figured out the taxes.
Oh yeah.
So,
Welcome to
yeah,
car owning.
this has been a cool journey for him. So we kind of started his car fund, with my old Civic. When we sold that, I basically gave him that money and said, "This is the start to your car fund."
Okay.
And so he's had a couple years to kind of save up, and he's been driving our cars, mostly
Mm-hmm.
Shauna's, um, around, and you know, looking. She's been giving him the run of her Facebook marketplace and,
Yeah.
looking on Craigslist and looking everywhere and
Ooh.
calling 1 million people and, doing the thing. And
Yeah.
he finally got there and he's happy. He's loving
Good.
it.
Good.
And so, and he just started, he just had his first day of work at Angie's Subs. So for
Yes.
those of my people here in Jacksonville, please go see
Oh.
him. Please hassle him. Please, all the
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But that's
For
where he
those who go
is.
to visit Jacksonville, you have to go to Angie's before
You
you leave.
do. You
Oh
do.
man,
It,
we liked Angie's Subs. It was far from us once we moved to the other side of Jacksonville, but whew, anytime we
yeah.
went to visit San Pablo, if it was during the day, I think we would go hit up Angie's because it was like a block over or something like that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's one of these like kind of cult following kind of places. They
Yes,
have these really good toasted subs. They've been in Jacksonville Beach for the longest time. You walk in there, it looks like, and it may be, but it looks like everything was acquired at a garage sale. It's like
it
nothing
does.
matches. It's just kind of, but there's a little bit of charm to it. And we were turned on by Shauna's parents. They kind of got us into it, and you come and they have the largest jug of sweet tea you have ever seen in your entire
It's
life.
true.
And yeah, it's a thing. It's kind of a local kind of deal, and it's it's fun. It's a cool place to hang and get a good sandwich. And so he's there, which we're happy because uh they have a good reputation of really treating their people well
Good.
and
That's
that kind
good.
of stuff. And he's a hard worker. So we're excited. He's jumping into a lot of new and we're excited for him. And I think I have covered most of everything. So
That's cool, man. Sounds like a busy summer. Kudos to Pierce. How's Jude doing? What's he been up? I mean, he went to camp, so that's cool. That's his
yeah,
first camp, right? First student ministry camp.
it was. So he
Was
had
he? How was it with him knowing his dad was there?
so it was good actually. So um Jude and I, we're together all the time. I mean, I work from home, he's homeschooled, right? So there's that.
Yeah.
I serve in the student ministry where he is there. We try to give him some separation. And there were times at camp where I was like, I got it. He's giving me the eye. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let him let it be. Um,
There you go.
but like also watching him kind of at a distance, you know, as his dad was super cool. And I'm I'm very glad that I went, for a bunch of reasons. That was probably the number one reason. Just
Okay.
kind of got to see him do stuff. He responded there to a call to ministry.
Okay.
Specifically, worship is where he feels led right now, and he is um
He's got enough
partic
charismatic Pentecostal in him. I can see it.
uh
Sorry.
so he
No offense,
has
Shauna.
been. Oh no, she's got no problem there. She can throw down with the best of them. Um,
Yes.
but no, he's been sitting in rehearsals and kind of practicing with the band for a
Good.
little bit now, and um, piano is his instrument of choice.
And that had
He
even
he.
started before camp, right?
Yeah, what did I
Hey,
say?
hey, sorry. I'm curious to see how the recording comes out with that. So for those of you listening, you might be getting the front half, the back half, or it'll even keep because it still says recording on my screen. Still say recording on yours.
It said it stopped and then it said when it started again. So
It resumed.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
see.
We'll see what it we'll see what it gets. So it's good to know. We've been having a batch, and I meant to warn you a second ago. We've been having I don't know if you can hear much. You can hear through the microphone. We've had a batch of storms hitting on the weeknights,
Oh no, I
and
couldn't tell.
good. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, now it switched it. I'm actually hotspotting off of my phone so that my internet might be a little crappy. Looks like my internet is back. So here, Chad, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna hit stop or pause. I'm gonna hit pause on the recording and jump back to our main Wi-Fi
Okay.
if you're cool with
Sure.
that.
Let's
Cool.
do it.
And we
And we're
back.
back.
Yes. So if I keep dropping out, we'll see how much of this conversation we get to post. Um, yeah, we've had some storms coming through. I don't think they're even hurricane related. Actually, some
Yeah.
people, my father-in-law being one of them, theorizes this is what happens because of the hurricane that hit the west and pushed all the weather systems towards us, and because there's no mountain ranges to really kind of break up. Anywho, that's his
Oh
theory. But
wow.
yeah, so my Wi-Fi, our power. Now we've never lost power, but we get these small like quick blips. Like I watched every light just flash, and then the Wi-Fi reset. So I'm here for now. You can't hear that thunder?
No.
Well, that's cool. This microphone is schnazzy.
It is. That's why
Uh,
all the people on YouTube use it.
that's also why I may have asked for it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So what were we?
So I was telling you about Jude. Yeah, he's
Jude
he's
piano.
amped.
That's right. That's
He's
right.
amped on that. So yeah. So
Good.
he went to camp. That was awesome. He was also with us up in the mountains. Had a great time.
Awesome.
Um, yeah. So he's great. Uh, he's one of my two favorite kids in the entire world. I don't know if I've told you that before, but you know.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. There you
So
go.
that is our last several months all wrapped up, and there you have it.
Sweet.
So Justin,
Oh,
I am very excited to get back in front of the microphone and the
yes.
camera with you.
Yes.
Um, all I'm gonna
Yes.
say is I think we have some cool stuff planned, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think
Definitely.
we're
Definitely.
up up and to the right. I hope that's not backwards.
Hang on. I'm trying to get my camera back on because it's telling me my computer. Oh, there we go. Okay, so literally the second you said we're up and to the right, and again, I have no idea what we're catching on this recording. I'm so excited to see this file. The loudest thunderclap over our house, like lightning must have struck like next door.
Dude.
Wi-Fi is kicked out again. We just had another one. I'm very impressed because those are super loud right now that our camera is not picking, or the microphone's not picking that up.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited to
I'm back
listen
on my
listen back to
hotspot.
it when it posts.
Yeah, I'm back on my. Well, I mean, I'll edit out thunder, but as best I can. But yeah, I'm back on the hotspot, so we're gonna ride. I think we'll ride the rest of this recording out with the hotspot. Hopefully, the hotspot's strong enough to maintain a decent recording. Um, yo, I hope my kid's still asleep.
Oh man. You know what? So at that one, I would like to leave that in for that specific one before it went out again. And it this time it took a minute for the recording to stop. So
Okay,
I just kept on with some commentary. Take
not.
it or leave it, whatever you think.
Oh, I will listen to what it hopefully gives me, but I don't know. I don't know what it'll give me from you because my computer is the one that kicked out.
Yeah, the recording kept going, which the last time it stopped immediately. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
why.
we'll see. We'll see what I get. We'll see what I get.
But yeah,
It'll
so
be
I think
good.
what I was saying is it's good to be back. Um
Yeah.
I think we're still kind of settling into like, a cadence. This being the first one back. Um
Yeah.
so
With
so
the
we'll
future of the
see.
podcast unknown.
Yeah, we'll
Because I
see
mean,
what
in
what that looks
transparency, I
like.
know we had discussed before the hiatus, which was an unintentional hiatus.
Yeah.
Um, but we discussed maybe we thrown around some other podcast ideas. Do we want to keep podcasting? And then, I mean, I think some of the excitement is definitely we've got a special guest that I will not talk about right now. Um, but I know by I think November 13th was their request. It will their episode will drop, and in the church Christian kind of circles, they're a pretty big deal. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so hold on to our coattails because we're going
Yeah,
places.
we might be, or
Maybe,
we're just
maybe
gonna
not.
be done after that one. So, but yeah, man, awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's good to see your face again. It's good to be back. Good to have the microphone. I'm
Yeah.
glad this stuff still works. Definitely glad it still works. Well,
Yeah.
Chad, before we sign out of here, is there anything else we
Same.
want to work through, talk about?
I will work on my game because I did not come prepared
It's
with
all
a
good.
dad joke.
Oh,
I mean, actually, I've got one I can drop on you that I was given by Chat GPT a couple weeks back if you want to hear it.
yes, do it. Go for it.
Okay. Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
I don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Yes.
So,
Oh, that's a good
there you
one.
are.
That's a good one.
I mean,
Oh
good is a
man,
strong word, but it'll do in
it's
absence
a
of a
dad
good one
joke. Yeah, it's a dad joke. Yeah, that's right.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Well, cool, man. Um, anything exciting before we sign out of here? Is there anything coming up aside from a podcast episode that's going to drop here in the next couple of months? Anything coming up that you're kind of jazzed about?
I mean, we're kind of kicking off the school year, and we got a lot of new over here, and I'm just I don't know, I'm digging life right now. Uh,
Good.
it's good. And I'm looking forward to getting back on with you some more and getting some more episodes out there. So yeah,
Heck yeah.
that's where I'm at, man. I'm feeling good, ready for start to a new school year. Not really year, but new school year. And yeah, man. What about you?
Um, definitely excited to have this back, hopefully semi consistently. Um, excited for this ministry year. I'm hoping for good things, for big things. Guys, we've been growing our serve staff, and we had opportunity to have like a leader launch and just some things I didn't get to do last year. And so I'm hoping a lot of this is just kind of preparing the ground for a growth boom. Um, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, I think the biggest thing family wise is Amelia starts preschool next Tuesday, actually. And that will be hopefully a game changer around here as far as how we are feeling from and especially in Megan, from kind of like a work balance and time consumption.
Yeah.
I need my me time, that kind of deal. So yeah, man. Other than that, I can't think of anything too crazy.
All right. Well, hey man, it has been good. It's good to be back. Good to see
It
your
is
face,
good.
as I think we've said about 10 times now.
Yep. Yep. We're weird like that. Yep.
But yeah, it has been a while. And yeah, so I guess what we can say is more to come. And
That's
for
right.
those of you hanging in with us, thank you. For those who are new, welcome.
Welcome, Jinx.
And I think we're good.
All right. With that, this report of season 3, episode 1 with thunderstorm glitches is closed.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. You can support us by sharing the show with your friends and family. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
Want more of the Dad Report? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and even join the community over on Discord. Don't forget to send us your dad jokes for a chance to be featured on the show.
Remember the words of Billy Graham about fatherhood. A good father is one of the most unsung, unpraised, unnoticed, and yet one of the most valuable assets in our society.
So if you are a dad, we're cheering you on. If you have a dad, be kind to him. And if you know a dad, tell him about our podcast.